Good morning. My name is Cindy. I work at the Bozeman Public Library. I'm going to read two books today, just a little bit of this one. This is a book called Beezus and Ramona. It was the first book that Beverly Cleary wrote about Ramona when she was 4. We have many books about her, and we have them on display here. So Beverly Cleary died very recently at the age of 104. And parents, if you have not experienced these books yourselves, please read them aloud to your children. They're wonderful read-alouds. We have lots of books by Beverly Cleary, and so we're happy to help you find any of those. So I wanted to start today by reading just a little bit of this very first book. They're chapter books, so some of you are able to sit and listen to a chapter book. It has some pictures in it, but not that many. So you get to kind of, when you listen to these chapter books, you get to sort of imagine what they are like in your head. So this is called Beezus and Her Little Sister, Chapter 1. Beatrice Quimby's biggest problem was her little sister Ramona. Beatrice, or Beezus as everyone called her, because that's what Ramona had called her when she first learned to talk, knew other 9-year-old girls who had little sisters who went to preschool, but she did not know anyone with a little sister like Ramona. Beezus felt that the biggest trouble 4-year-old Ramona was that she was just plain exasperating. What a great word that is. If Ramona drank lemonade through a straw, she blew into the straw as hard as she could to see what would happen. If she played with her finger paints in the front yard, she wiped her hands on the neighbor's cat. That was the exasperating sort of thing Ramona did. And then there was the way she behaved about her favorite book. It all began one afternoon after school when Beezus was sitting in her father's big chair, embroidering a laughing tea kettle on a pot holder. So she was sewing a picture of a tea kettle on a pot holder for one of her aunts for Christmas. She was trying to embroider this one neatly because she planned to give it to Aunt Beatrice, who was Mother's younger sister and Beezus's most special aunt. With gray thread, Beezus carefully outlined the steam coming from the tea kettle's spout and thought about her pretty aunt, who was always so gay and understanding. No wonder she was Mother's favorite sister. Beezus hoped to be exactly like Aunt Beatrice when she grew up. She wanted to be a 4th-grade teacher and drive a yellow convertible and live in an apartment house with an elevator and a buzzer that opened the front door. Because she was named after Aunt Beatrice, Beezus felt she might be like her in other ways, too. While Beezus was sewing, Ramona, holding a harmonica in her teeth, was riding around the living room on her tricycle. Since she needed both hands to steer the tricycle, she could only blow in and out on one note. This made the harmonica sound as if it were groaning, "Oh dear, over and over again." Beezus tried to pay no attention. She tied a small knot in the end of a piece of red thread, and inhaling as she tied that knot, and then inhaling and exhaling into her mouth, Ramona closed her eyes and tried to pedal around the coffee table without looking. "Ramona," cried Beezus, "watch where you are going." When Ramona crashed into the coffee table, she opened her eyes again. Oh dear, moaned the harmonica, and around pedaled Ramona, inhaling and exhaling. Beezus looked up from her pot holder. "Ramona, why don't you play with Bendix for a while?" Bendix was Ramona's favorite doll. Ramona thought Bendix was the most beautiful name in the world. Ramona took the harmonica out of her mouth. No, read my Scoopy book to me." "Oh, Ramona, not Scoopy," protested Beezus. "We've read Scoopy so many times." Instead of answering, Ramona put her harmonica between her teeth again and pedaled around the room, inhaling and exhaling. Beezus had to lift her feet every time Ramona rode by. Here's a picture. So Beezus is 9 and Ramona is 4. And there she is with a harmonica in her mouth. The knot in Beezus' thread pulled through the material of her potholder, and she gave up trying to hide it as she would a secret and tied a bigger knot. Finally, tired of trying to keep her feet out of Ramona's way, she put down her embroidery. All right, Ramona, if I read about Scoopy, will you stop riding your tricycle around the living room and making so much noise? Yes, said Ramona, and she climbed off her tricycle. She ran into the bedroom she shared with Beezus and returned with a battered, dog-eared, sticky book, which she handed to Beezus, and she climbed into the big chair beside Beezus and waited expectantly. So those are the very first pages of Beezus and Ramona. So we'll put this book back up here with all the others by Beverly Cleary. Easter is coming. Spring is coming. One of my very favorite books is by Margaret Wise Brown. She wrote the Goodnight Moon and many others, and this one is called The Golden Egg Book. And so I want to read this to you in celebration of Easter and spring baby animals. Golden Egg Book. Once there was a little bunny. He was all alone. One day he found an egg, and he could hear something moving inside the egg. What was it? Maybe a little boy? Maybe another bunny? Maybe an elephant? Maybe a mouse? Who could tell what he would find? And how would a little bunny know? But there was something inside that egg. He could hear something moving. He shook it. Then the bunny pushed the egg with his foot, and he jumped on top of the egg. He climbed a tree and threw nuts at it. He rolled the egg down a hill. Still it didn't break. But whatever was in the egg didn't come out. So the bunny threw a rock at it. But because he was only a little bunny, it was a very little rock, and he didn't throw it very hard. The egg didn't break. Pick, pick, pick. Something was trying to get out of that egg. The bunny sat very still and watched through his shining eyes. He sat very still and listened with his big, soft ears. Pick, pick, pick. Then the little bunny began to yawn. He yawned. Can you all yawn with me? He yawned. Oh. The egg was very quiet. So the bunny curled up all sleepy and warm close to the egg and went to sleep. He went to sleep because he was so sleepy. And then, pick, 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 and peck, 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 and crackety crack, out jumped a little yellow duck. Well, what is this? Said the little duck when he saw the bunny. What could this fur thing be? The bunny was very sleepy, so he was still asleep, and he didn't wake up. Inside the egg, said the duck. I thought I was all alone in a small dark world, and now I find myself all alone with a bunny in a big bright world, and the bunny won't wake up. So the duck pushed the bunny with his foot and jumped on top of him and threw a little rock at him and rolled him down a hill. And the bunny woke up. Where's my egg? Asked the bunny. And where did you come from? Never mind that, said the duck. Here I am. So the bunny and the duck were friends, and no one was ever alone again. One of many books we have by Margaret Wise Brown, and of course we have lots of books about spring and baby animals and all kinds of wonderful spring things. Thank you all for coming to Storytime today. I hope to see you at the library now that we're open again. We'll be starting programs, I hope, sometime this summer, probably outside, but we hope to see you in person. Thank you again. Bye-bye.